Good morning. Welcome to Gentle Chair Yoga. Make sure you have your chair, make sure you're comfortable, and you're ready to get started. So sit back, feel the full support of the back of the chair against the back of your rib cage, your shoulder blades. Find a position where your feet are resting comfortably on the floor. Your feet are not swinging. I want you to feel steady and sturdy. Safe. Hands on your lap. Palms up, palms down, it doesn't matter which. Now go ahead and close your eyes. Take a breath. Now bring your attention inwards. Get a sense of how you're feeling today. If there are any kind of aches and pains, any messages at all from your body asking just for a little bit of extra care. You've already begun to take care of that by showing up today on your mat, ready to do some yoga. Let your feet feel heavy. Feel the backs of your thighs sinking into the seat of the chair. Soften the hips and the lower back. Feel your breath just simply flow, not necessarily controlling your breath, but allowing it to be whatever it wants to be. Notice where your breath is today. Is it slow? Is it medium? Is it fast? No judgment, simply notice. Tune in to your exhalation. With the next exhalation, let your hands feel limp and heavy. As soon as the palms of the hands and the fingers relax, notice the additional weight through the arms, and the weight of the arms gently tugging your shoulders down, away from your ears. Still focusing on the exhalation. Relax the jaw, feel the throat soften. And soften around the eyes. Adjust yourself so you feel like you're sitting a little bit taller. You can feel the crown of your head reaching up towards the sky. You can feel the back of the rib cage pressing a little more heavily into the support of the back of the chair. Now really use the whole belly, the rib cage, the chest to deepen your breath. Take 3 deep breaths. Stay tall through the upper body, long from your hips to your shoulders, and slowly drop your chin towards your chest. Relax the shoulders. Now slowly roll over to your right shoulder. Just feel a long stretch on the left side of your neck. Keep the tension out of the shoulders by focusing on your exhalation and making the shoulders heavy. Roll to center, chin to chest once again. Pause here for a breath. Then roll over to your left shoulder. Same thing again. The moment your head feels like it's in the right position and you can feel the long stretch on the right side of your neck, use your exhalation to create heaviness through the shoulders and softness through the whole upper body. Roll to center one more time, chin to chest. Now keeping the head heavy, feeling the stretch reaching down the back of the neck. Relax the shoulders. Take a moment here to tuck your chin a little closer towards your chest. Just feeling the intensity deepen, just slightly, never crossing over into the threshold of pain. Just feeling the stretch, feeling the opening in the back of the neck, reaching down between the shoulders. And lift up. Chin lifts away from the chest, sitting tall once again. Your eyes are closed. You can go ahead and open your eyes. Pull the back of your shoulders away from the back of the chair. So sitting up tall on your own now. Bring your arms to your sides. Take a big breath in, sweeping the arms all the way up, crossing at the wrist. Just notice which wrist goes in front. And as you exhale, sweep down. Now do that again. Inhaling, bringing the gaze upwards, crossing at the wrist, other wrist in front this time, and sweeping down. 2 more times. So one more cross in each direction. Right hand in front, really doesn't matter. Just make sure you switch with every breath. Take your time with your breath. And then back down. Lean back. Turn your palms up. Let the backs of your hands rest on your thighs. Just wiggle your fingers. Really try to bend at all the knuckles. See all those lifelines come and go from the palms of your hands as you bring movement to your fingers. I can feel a little bit of tingling. Movement into the hands, into the fingers. Of course, movement promotes circulation throughout your body. Now take a moment here to really stretch the hands, stretch the palms. Think of bringing your thumb and your baby finger as far apart as you can, and then a gentle fist. Open wide. Now tuck your thumb in and do a gentle fist over top. Just a little squeeze, nothing more than that. Open wide. Thumb on the outside, curling the fingers in towards the palms. And now stretching wide. And one more time, tucking the finger in. Tucking your thumb in. Thumb tucks in, fingers wrap over top. Just a little bit of a squeeze to feel the stretch into the thumb. Now keep that. Keep the thumb tucked in. And just imagine you're drumming. But the thumb is still tucked in. So now you're feeling the stretch along the thumb and to the inside of the wrist. Not the underside, but the inside. Just a little knocking action. Shake out the hands and start to do a few rotations through the wrists. Make sure you go in both directions. Really feel all those cracks, just working out all the kinks out of the wrists, out of the fingers, and the palms. Now just swing your arms gently. Deliberately bend at the elbow, and the elbow only bends forward and backwards. Bend your elbows softly, not a deep bend, and really get into your shoulders now. Think about drawing giant circles to either side with your elbows. Make the biggest circle you can to maximize the range of motion for the shoulders. Notice how your spine begins to undulate a little bit. Everything's connected. It's amazing. Now change direction. Go the other way. Think about pushing your elbows back, feeling the stretch into the fronts of the shoulders now. Maybe even reaching into the center of the sternum. Feel your back arching. Lean into the back of the chair for support to really open up through the front of the body as the elbows push back. All right, switching gears now, down towards the floor and working with the toes. Just relax the soles of the feet, wiggle your toes. Try to curl your toes as tight as you can and spread them wide. Just like you did with your fingers, think about trying to bend your toes at every single knuckle, every single joint. Into the mounds of the toes, pads of the toes, everywhere. Now rotate through the ankles. I'm going to work with one ankle at a time today, I think. And go the other way. Notice how your calf and your shin expand and contract. Right? Rotating through the ankle uses the whole lower leg. Now switch sides. If you're doing both ankles at the same time, simply switch direction. Movement all the way up to my knee. Then go the other way. All right. Pads at the toes on the floor, heels lifted just slightly. And just think about reaching your heel down to the floor. Just work with one heel at a time. And after you get a little bit of a rhythm going, think about lifting your heel as high as you can, but at the same time keeping the pads of the toes, the balls of the toes on the mat. Kind of push into the floor to give yourself a little bit of leverage, literally, to lift the heel higher. Reaching down now to hold the back of my right thigh. Leave your fingers together if you can, or just grab hold to the sides of the back of your thigh. And just lift your right foot and just let your knee bend. Now lengthen. Straighten out your right leg as much as possible. Relax the foot for now. You need a little bit of strength there. Leave your fingers together. Now spread your toes on your right foot and then pull your toes towards your shin. Really push your heel away to feel the lengthening through your back of the leg. Now keep the toes spread wide and push the toes away from you. And pull the toes in and push the toes away. So it's kind of like you're wearing a high heel. Sorry, gentlemen, you won't know what that feels like, I don't think. It's standing on your tippy toe with no floor beneath your big toe. And relax. Doing the same thing now with the left leg. So hands reach behind. Leave your fingers together if you can. And just let your knee, just bend at the knee, bring some movement into your knee. Your knee is just like your elbow. It only goes forward and backwards. You might hear a few sounds there. Don't worry about it. Now lengthen. Left leg as much as possible. Feel the back of your thigh pushing into your hands. Relax your foot. Spread your toes on your left foot and start to bring your toes towards your shin. Push your heel away. Feel the stretch in the back of your left leg. Push. Keep the toes spread wide. Push the toes away from you. Feel the stretch into the top of the foot. Curl your toes towards you. Pull them in. Push your heel away. Really stretch into the back of the calf, the back of the knee. Spreading the toes. Pushing your toes away from you. Like you're standing on your very tippy toes, but you're not on the floor. And release. Scoot forward in your chair. Bring your hands to your knees. Take a breath. And as you exhale, just fold over your thighs. And then inhale, push up. Exhale, folding over your thighs. Inhale, pushing up. Let's do that 2 more times. Just work really slowly with your breath. One more time. And pressing up. Sitting tall. So finding a spot now where your feet are firmly planted on the floor. You feel steady. You can actually use the soles of your feet to help you stay tall through the upper body. Right hand comes to the seat of the chair. Left hand, reach the left hand up as you take your breath in. Exhale, turn to the right. Left hand comes to the outside of your right thigh. Just a gentle twist, warming up through the spine as you rotate towards the left. Relax the shoulders. Just breathe here. It's not about the depth of the twist. You're just taking a moment to warm up. Still in the warm-up stages of this yoga practice. Come to center. Hands to your knees. Again, repeating the folding forward over the thighs, moving with your breath, using your hands on your knees for support. You take your breath in, you feel tall and long, and as you exhale, just fold over your thighs. Let the spine round. Let your head drop slightly, and when you're ready to take your breath in, just slowly press yourself up. Really in tune with your breath. Not taking a particularly deep breath, but just taking your time. Tuning in to feeling good in your body. No restrictions here. Not going so deeply into your forward fold that your breath becomes shallow, but keeping the breath even and comfortable. Finishing in the sitting up tall position. Left hand now comes to the seat of the chair. Still forward. Still feet firmly planted, so you feel steady. With your breath in, right hand sweeps up. As you exhale, turning to the left. Right hand comes to the outside of your left thigh, just turning, rotating through the rib cage and shoulders, looking slightly to the left. Tiny bit of rotation through the vertebrae, nothing more than that. And reconnect to your breath. Exhale, come back to center. I'm going to turn sideways so that you can see. So sitting at the front of your chair, but now bringing your feet wider. Hands to the fronts of your knees, tops of your knees. Use your fingers to kind of anchor your hands in place. Take a breath in, lift yourself tall. So bring your gaze upward. Allow the upper back to curve, to arch. And as you exhale, round to the back. Tuck your chin towards your chest. Keep your fingers anchored to your knees. And really spread your shoulder blades wide. Just like you did before, tune into your breath. So as you inhale, bring yourself tall. Create a little arch between the shoulder blades. And as you exhale, round through the back. Chin to chest, shoulder blades spread across the back. Feel the stretch there. 2 more times. Take your time. Tune into your breath. Tune into all the sensations in your body. Where you feel the stretch. Maybe there's a bit of uncomfortableness, or maybe it just feels amazing. Returning to the sitting up tall position. All right. Holding on to the seat of the chair now, or the back of the chair for a little extra support. I want you to stay tall through the upper body. So pull the fronts of the shoulders back. Really roll them back and sit tall. Use your hands to push into the seat of the chair. I find that's the easiest. And use the length of your arms to bring the length from your hips to your shoulders. Now keep that. And just let your knees wave from side to side. Spread your toes so you're rolling onto the edges of your feet without collapsing through the ankle or the arch. So a little bit of work here. You can feel the workload through the shoulders, stabilizing through the core, and a little bit of movement and warm up through the hip joints. Bring your knees to center. Relax your toes, let your toes rest on the floor. So your feet are still wide. Now stay as long and tall as you can through the upper body. Bring your hands to your knees. So just shifting your weight forward without losing any of the length in the spine, in the upper body. Take a breath. And just relax the shoulders. Take the tension out of the body with your exhalation. Stretch your left leg long. Land on your left heel. Spread your toes on your left foot. Be far enough forward if you need to adjust where you're sitting on your chair. I want you to lengthen through the left leg as much as possible. Left hand to the seat of the chair. Inhale, right arm sweeps up. As you exhale, bow towards your left leg. Bring your right hand to the top of your left thigh. A little bend in the back of your knee. Just fold towards your left toes. Now bring your left hand forward. Let your left hand land wherever it wants to land. Keep a tiny little bend in the back of your left knee so you don't hyperextend the knee joint here. That's why the toes are spread wide and you're pushing into your left heel. Now keep the toes spread wide and just slowly reach the sole of your left foot down to the floor. It might not connect to the floor. If you can see, the sole of my left foot is floating over the floor, but I'm getting a long, wonderful stretch in the front of my shin. Slowly bring yourself up. Ooh, that was a deep stretch. Switching sides now. Left foot flat on the floor. Right leg reaches straight out. Spread the toes on your right foot. Right heel pushes down into the mat. A little bit of a bend in the back of your right knee. Right hand on the seat of the chair. Inhale, left hand sweeps As you exhale, fold towards your right thigh. Left hand comes to the top of your right thigh for support. Stay long through the upper body. Try not to round through the lower back. Keeping a tiny bend in the back of your right knee to keep the knee joint safe. Right hand lands wherever it needs to, or you can keep your right hand on the seat of the chair if you choose. Use your hands for support. Place them wherever you feel you need to feel steady and safe. Toes are spread on the right foot. Take one more breath here. Now slowly start to press the sole of the right foot down towards the floor. Keep that little bend in the back of the right knee. Stay long through the spine, the lower back. Notice how the Notice how the stretch has changed by simply pressing the sole of your right foot towards the floor. And now slowly bring yourself up. Sitting tall once again. Hands to the fronts of your knees. Take a breath. And as you exhale, fold. This time, think about bringing your belly and rib cage between your inner thighs so you can really sink in and feel your weight shifting just to the very front of the seat of the chair. Now, keep your eyes straight down at the floor. Resist the urge to look at your toes or to look under the chair. Stay long through the spine. Imagine you have a teacup between your shoulders. Hands to the top of your knees. Elbows pointing out side to side. Take a breath. And as you exhale, turn to look to the left. Use your left hand to push into the top of your knee. Feel your left shoulder pull back. Right shoulder kind of pops down. You can feel a stretch into your right shoulder. Become aware of the movement of your belly with your breath against your thighs. Not just the rib cage, but deep into the belly here. Now slide your right hand down towards the floor. If you can touch the floor, that's great. If not, bring your right hand to your shin, your right ankle, wherever it happens to land. Take a breath. And as you exhale, just deepen your twist a tiny bit more. Press your left hand into your knee. Pull your left shoulder back. Still looking to the left. You're not trying to look up towards the ceiling. Nothing crazy like that. My goodness. Steady yourself with your breath. And with your exhalation, release the twist. Bring your right hand back to the top of your right knee and push up. Stretch your legs out in front of you. Keep your feet wide. I want you to still feel steady. Arms at your sides. Getting ready to do a little rowing your boat. So we're going to sweep the hands down towards the feet. Now reach beyond. And when you're up tall, pull your hands in towards your shoulders. Lean back just slightly to feel the core, the front of the belly, really engage and feel strong. And then sweep the hands down. Hands sweeping along the outer legs. Hands reaching forwards. Pulling fists towards your shoulders. Lean back just enough to feel that little tremor of truth. Hands sweep down. Towards your ankles, reach forward. Now pull your hands in towards your shoulders as you lean back. We're going to do this one more time, so 4 repetitions in total. Oh, feel the stretch in the lower back when those hands reach forward. Amazing. Oh, and tall. Feet flat on the floor, feet wide, hands to the tops of your knees. Take a breath. Just relax the shoulders. Notice how the tension crept in there because your whole body went, oh no, oh no, oh no, I don't know if I can do that. But you did. The next breath out, folding forward, belly, rib cage coming between the inner thighs. Hands to the tops of your knees, elbows out to the sides. So let the tops of your hands, heels of your hands feel heavy on the top of your knees. Again, you've got that teacup between your shoulders, so feel really long from your tailbone all the way to the crown of your head. Take a breath. And as you exhale, just gently turn to the right this time. Right hand pushes into your knee to help you pull your right shoulder back, and just turn your head to look to the right. Left shoulder sinks down. Feel a bit of a stretch there in the front of the left shoulder. Tune into your breath, feeling the movement, noticing the movement of the belly on the inner thighs with every breath. You feel the pressure with the inhalation, the release with the exhalation. Bringing your left hand to the floor or to your ankle, your shin, wherever your left hand grabs hold. Take a breath. And as you exhale, deepen your twist to the right by pushing your right hand in the top of your knee, rotating through the shoulders just a tiny bit more. Eyes still looking to the right. No need to look up towards the ceiling or anything. Just a gentle rotation through the spine. With your next breath out, release the twist, bring yourself back to center. Left hand to your knee and press up. Legs straight out in front. Rest on your heels. Spread your toes. To really anchor your knees in place, your feet in place. A little bend in the back of your knees. All right, rowing the boat in the opposite direction this time. So starting with your hands, gentle fists right at your shoulders. Here we go. We're going to push the hands forward. Now lean forward. Feel again the front and the back of the core engaging. Feel the weight sinking into your heels. Now pull. At the same time, lift up, lean back. Oh, yeah, there it is. There's the strength. Hands towards the shoulders. Now push. Down. Make sure you're breathing. Hands sweep along the outsides of the legs as you bring yourself up. Lean back. Hands float up to the shoulders as you bring shoulders once again over top of the hips. Keep going. Reach as far as you can. Feel your weight in your heels. Hands sweep down. Pull back. Stay long through the upper body. Flat through the backs of the shoulders. Lean back. Hands float up towards the shoulders. One last time. Push. Hands float down. Now pull. On the outside edges of the legs. Hands towards the shoulders. Now keep your hands right here. Let's stay here. 4, 3, 2, 1. And bring yourself tall. Let's come to standing. So bringing your chair towards the top of the mat, turn the high side, the back of the chair towards you. Stand a comfortable distance from the chair so the back of the chair is within reach. Take a moment and just relax. step your right foot back. So step back onto your right foot, a regular walking step, maybe even a little bit less. Push all the way down onto your right heel. Hands to the back of the chair, so your weight is slightly forward. Bend your left knee. Now left knee is pointing in the same direction as your left toes. You can see pretty much your whole left foot. Knee over top of your ankle. Lift your eyes, look straight in front of you. Now make a little bit of extra effort by pushing the right heel down to the mat. Just feeling a very subtle stretch into the back of the right leg, the calf. Taking your time with your breath, keep your focus on the right calf. Really think of feeding the stretch your breath. Keep your gaze straight ahead. Keep the right heel pushing into the mat. Use your left heel to push into the mat and straighten, lengthen the left leg as much as possible. So you can feel your hips shifting. Before, the left hip felt like it was in front of the right hip. Now you feel the left hip push back. Check in. I want your hips to feel level. I don't want you to feel like you're twisting to the left. Now drop your gaze down to the floor, the corner, where the wall meets the floor. Keep your eyes there. Keep your hands on the back of the chair. And just slowly bow forwards. Feel your focus switch as the sensations change in your body when you bow forwards. Tense in the left leg gets a little bit greater. You can feel the stretch in the back of the left leg and the weight shifting forward. Try not to round through the shoulders. Keep the sternum open. Keep your right hand on the chair. Bring your left hand to your hip. Keep your eyes beyond the seat of the chair, looking down at the floor in front of you, in front of the chair. One more breath. Left hand comes to the seat, to the back of the chair. Use your hands on the back of the chair, bring yourself up. Step your right foot forward. Left foot goes back. Regular walking step, maybe slightly shorter. Push onto your left heel. As you push onto your left heel, right knee bends. Look down at your right knee. It needs to be pointing in the same direction as your toes. Both hands on the seat of the chair. Left heel presses down. You can feel the full length of the back of your left leg, the back of your left calf. Then bring your gaze ahead to the wall in front of you, not the floor, but looking straight in front of you. And breathe. Notice that extra little bit of effort to push the left heel down to deepen the stretch there, without over-taxing through the calf. Keep the gaze straight ahead. Keep the left heel pressing into the mat. Now use the right heel to push and lengthen the right leg. Make it as long as it can possibly be without letting go of the back of the chair. Staying long through the upper body. You feel your weight is still forward. And then slowly bow towards the chair. Feel the hips level off. Keep your eyes in front of the chair, beyond the seat of the chair to the floor in front of you, perhaps where the floor meets the wall at the corner. Coming far enough forward to feel the intensity shift into the right leg rather than the left. Breathe. Left hand stays on the back of the chair for support. If you choose, right hand comes to your hip. Just feeling the work, the intensity change just slightly. Make sure you're breathing. Take one more breath right here. Right hand comes to the back of the chair for support. Press up. Step forward. Keeping your hands on the back of the chair. Take a breath. Relax the shoulders. Use your exhalation to release the tension that builds up throughout your body. Begin to walk your feet towards the back of the mat, at the same time keeping your hands on the back of the chair. Getting ready, shifting into the downward dog position. So put a little bend in your knees, your feet are hip distance apart. Your hands are firmly planted on the back of the chair so that you can sink in. Feel the stretch into the sides of the body. Relax your jaw, try to unclench your teeth. Let the lower back sway just slightly. Feel the length on the sides of the body, from your hip to your armpits. Bit of a stretch into the backs of the arms. Simultaneously now, press yourself up and walk your feet towards the chair until you're once again standing tall. All right, bring your right hand to your hip, left hand stays on the back of the chair. Now bend your knees, so using the chair for support here, step your right foot back, but step straight back, bigger than a walking step. Land on the ball of your big toe. Now rotate. So turning to the right, at the same time rotating on the ball of your right toe, planting your heel. So your shoulders, your rib cage turn to the right as your foot turns. So your right toes are pointing to the right, left toes are pointing towards the chair. Left knee is bent. Take a look down at your left knee. It should be pointing in the same direction as your toes. Now right shoulder over top of your right hip. So keep your shoulders, your rib cage turned to the right. But as you exhale, turn to look in the direction of your left shoulder. So looking towards in front of you, once again. Not to the right where your right toes are pointing, but straight in front of you. Left hand is on the chair. If you just glance down, you can see your left hand. Take a breath. And as you exhale, push down with the right foot and sink into your left elbow. Coming into a big stretch on the right side of your body. Keep your right shoulder over your right hip, in line with your right hip. Feeling the long stretch on the right hip, right side of your rib cage. Keep your eyes beyond the seat of the chair, down at the floor. Still in front of you. Press up. Keeping your eyes at the floor in front of your chair, and lengthen your left leg. So both legs feel long now. Minimize the bend in the back of the left knee. Keep that. A breath. And as you exhale once again, sink into your left elbow. Feel now a deeper stretch on the right side because the left side is longer. So the right side has more area to stretch over top of. Resist the urge to look down at your left toes. Look in front of the chair. One more breath. And slowly press up. Use your left hand on the chair. Press yourself up. Bend your left knee and step towards the chair. Right hand reaches for the back of the chair for support if you need to. All right. Left foot steps back. So bend your knees so you can step your left foot farther back than a walking step. Left hand on your hip, right hand on your chair, on the back of the chair for support. Right knee is bent, a little softness there. Now rotate, turning to the left. Pivot on the ball of your left big toe, plant your heel. Keep the right knee soft. Feel your shoulders, your rib cage rotating as your foot rotates. Take a quick look down. Right knee pointing in the same direction as your right toes, right under the chair. Bring your eyes to the left. Get a sense that your left shoulder is in line with your left hip. You're going to keep that. That's not going to change. All that's going to change is your right elbow. Right hand is on the back of the chair for support. Now turn your head so your chin comes into line-ish with your right shoulder. Left shoulder stays in place with the left hip. Take a breath. And as you exhale, sink into your right elbow. Feel your weight shifting into your right hand, pushing into the chair. Feel the long stretch on the left side. Keep your eyes down at the floor beyond the seat of the chair. Breathe. Try not to hold your breath. Just let your breath flow. Use your breath to find ease in your body, ease within the stretch. Good. That's a long stretch in the front of the hip here on the left side. Press up. Use your right hand on the chair for support. Right heel pushes into the mat. Lengthen the right leg, opening up the back of the right knee as much as possible. Keep your right hand on your chair. Eyes still looking at the floor in front of the chair. Take a breath. And as you exhale, once again, sink into your right elbow. Feeling now a longer stretch on the left side. With the left side stretching over the long right side. Breathe. And calm the softness within you by connecting to your breath. Press up. Bend your right knee. And as you rotate, turning towards the chair, reach for the back of the chair with your left hand and step forward. Let's come down to sitting. Sitting at the front of your chair, we're going to revisit a stretch that we did earlier. So feet a little bit wider than hip distance apart. Left foot flat on the floor. Right leg reaches straight out. Spread your toes. Anchor on your right heel. Little softness in the back of the right knee, keeping your knee joint safe. Right hand to the seat of the chair. Use your right hand, right arm to bring as much length as you can to the upper body. And now sweep the left arm up with your breath in. Really lengthen. And as you exhale, bow forward. This time, think of reaching your left hand towards your right ankle. Let your left hand land on your shin wherever it wants to land and sink forward. Really let your belly, your rib cage, press into your right thigh. Relax your neck, your jaw, and let your chin gently tuck in towards your chest. Now bring your right hand forward. Let it land where it wants to. Breathe. Just notice how much deeper this forward fold is than it was just a half an hour ago. Lift your chin away from your chest. So feel the spine lengthening. Left hand comes to your thigh. Right hand comes to your thigh. Exaggerate the bend in the back of your right knee and push yourself up. Let's switch sides. Right foot flat on the floor. Left leg lengthens. Little softness in the back of the left knee. Spread your toes on your left foot. Anchor into your heel. Keep your toes spread to keep your ankle safe. Left hand comes to the seat of the chair. Use your left hand, left arm to bring as much length and support as you can to your upper body. With your breath in, right arm reaches up, really long, and as you exhale, fold. Bring your right hand towards your left ankle. Let your right hand land on your shin, your knee, wherever it feels comfortable to place it. Sink your rib cage, your belly, onto your left thigh. Relax your neck, your jaw, tuck your chin in towards your chest. Relax the left hand. Let your left hand land on your shin wherever it wants to land. Breathe. Really bring the breath into the belly. So in a forward fold here, the tendency is to keep the breath up in the chest. But bring your breath just as deeply as if you weren't doing a forward fold at all. Right hand comes to your knee. Lift your chin away from your chest. Left hand comes to your thigh. Press up. Sit back in your chair. All the way back. Lean into the back of your chair. Let your feet really rest heavily on the floor. Hands on your thighs. Turn your palms up this time. Let the backs of your hands feel heavy. And close your eyes. Relax your jaw. Really soften around the eyes so your eyes aren't squinted shut. Just kind of floating shut, like lily pads on a pond. Soften your shoulders. And as the shoulders release, notice how much heavier and softer the hands feel. Sink into your hips. Notice as the hips let go, how much heavier the legs and the feet feel. Let yourself feel heavy. With each breath out, just let go a little bit more. letting go of holding on to the bones, to the muscles, holding things tight. Let the chair hold you. As you exhale, really sink in. Notice how much easier it is to let go, to sink in, to let the chair hold you. Take a couple more breaths here. Really notice the parts of you that feel the heaviest. The soles of your feet, backs of the hands, shoulders, even the backs of your thighs pressing into the seat of the chair. Your hands slide off your thighs. Let your arms dangle at your sides. Really dangle. Let your arms feel heavy. Use the weight of your arms and hands. Feel your shoulders pulling deeply away from your ears. Really breathe into the heaviness of the shoulders. The openness of the throat, the softness of your jaw. Your next breath in, sweep your arms up. Really reach up. Lean into the back of the chair as the hands come together overhead. As you exhale, let your hands press together and float down in front of your heart. Pause here. Notice any lasting sensations in your body, whatever it happens to be. No judgment. Feel the warmth in the palms of your hands, the heaviness, softness in the soles of your feet. Or maybe it's the calm into every muscle fiber in your body, whatever it happens to be. Take a moment to be grateful. May all beings be happy. May all beings be healthy. May all beings be loved. And may all beings be at peace. Thank you so much for joining me today. Namaste.